everybody, this is Robbie Parker, and I'm going to be joined by Big D from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, and we're going to be doing a review for the 2022 movie Scream 5. So, in this movie, we meet a new group of Woodsboro High students whose lives are changed when a new Ghostface arrives in time for the 25th anniversary of the events of the first movie, wanting to create a requel, and they must team up with the legacy characters from the previous movies to stop the new killer. So before I get into my part, I'm going to let Big D do his part like I always do, so take it away, Big D.
Hey everyone, this is the Big D, and I am collaborating with Robbie once more as we tackle the 2022 slasher flick Scream, better known to us as Scream 5. Now this film came out like over a decade after the last one came out, and the first film in the franchise not to be directed by Wes Craven, who had died back in 2015. Now Scream 5, or Scream 2022, whichever title you like to refer to it as, takes place 25 years after the original Woodsboro murders in the first film, when yet another Ghostface appears and begins targeting a group of teenagers who are each somehow linked to the original killings. When I first saw this, I absolutely thought this was an incredible comeback. Another great horror requel since Halloween 2018, and I must say it's very, very good. Just like with the rest of the Scream franchise, we have a big cast. Neve Campbell returns as Sidney, Courtney Cox returns as Gail, and David Arquette returns as Dewey, whom unfortunately his character is finally killed by Ghostface halfway through the film. Now, that one kind of was a little bit of a shocking surprise seeing Dewey get killed off in the film, so please don't mind me bringing up just a wee bit of a spoiler whether you've seen this or not. But I gotta say, that was kind of a real shock, seriously. But nevertheless, we did have some really good performers, including Melissa Barrera, Kyle Gallner, Mason Gooding, Mikey Madison, Dylan Minnette, Jenna Ortega, Jack Quaid, Jasmine Savoy Brown, and Sonia Amar. We also had some other returning stars from previous films, including Marley Shelton, Skeet Ulrich, and Herma Razzo. Plus, we had Roger L. Jackson once again doing the voice of Ghostface. This was also the first Scream film not to have Marco Beltrami do the score. Instead, they got Brian Tyler, who actually worked with one of the directors of the film, Matt Bettinelli-Olpin, who co-directed the film with Tyler Gillett. Now, I actually liked this film, and this was a bigger redemption for the franchise, even after Scream 4. I liked the direction, the performances from the cast, as well as the tribute to Wes Craven. I have to admit, Scream 5 or Scream 2022 is a great sequel. Now, of course, after this, a year later, Scream 6 would come out, and I liked it just as much as this one. And I've just got to say, that was really fun, but we'll talk about that another time. But Scream, or Scream 2022, is good. So anyway, I found Scream 2022 to be a very good sequel with its great direction, cast of characters, and their performances, and the score and tribute to Wes Craven, etc., etc., etc. It's all good. I definitely would recommend you check this out. So as always, thank you for making me a part of this, Robbie, and until our next collab, this is the Big D saying, see ya.
Thank you, Big D. It's great to have you on here as always. And I'm gonna say I really like this one. This is probably my third favorite in the franchise. It's one of my favorites for sure. and everything. And I forgot how good this one was when I rewatched it. I didn't know how I was going to feel on rewatching the last two because of all the stuff with Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega not being in the new movies and stuff. But I really do like those characters and stuff. And rewatching them just reminded me why and everything. The new main characters in this are just great. You got Melissa Barrera as Sam and Jenna Ortega as Tara, and they're both really excellent. They're really believable as these sisters and everything, and you really buy into their relationship. It's really well written. And then also you got Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding as Chad and Mindy Meeks Martin, who are the niece and nephew of Randy from the first three movies. And it was awesome getting to see them in here, and including them as relatives to legacy characters as well. And they're really likable characters too, especially Mindy, who's a lot like Randy in a lot of ways, but Chad is really lovable as well. And they get a lot more cool screen time in the sequel as well and everything. So I really like them and stuff, and this was a good introduction to their characters, and I can't wait to see them back. Jack Quaid as Richie Kirsch is really good too. I think he was a really good Ghostface and stuff. Not the very best, but I do like him, and I like his motivations of being a little whiny fanboy that takes it personal when a franchise makes a bad movie and stuff. Someone who's dealt with toxic fans over the years, it was a perfect representation of those toxic losers and stuff. But he was really good in here. And Mikey Madsen as Amber, the other Ghostface, she's pretty good too. Although I don't really believe she's the one that killed Dewey and stuff. I have a theory that I don't want to get into in case it happens in Scream 7. But I have a feeling of something that could happen in Scream 7 and everything. But I don't want to say it because I don't want to either potentially spoil the movie or just be wrong and look like an idiot. And I'll talk about it more when I get to that Scream 7 spoiler review, when me and Big D do that. But David Arquette is the one, I think, out of the returning cast that stands out the most. Although I do think that all three of them were really good in here and everything, and I think Courtney Cox gives one of her better performances in the franchise as well and everything. When she sees Dewey's body and stuff, it really is emotional and stuff. And even though I've never cared for the character of Gail, I did still feel bad for her in that moment and everything. And a lot of that comes down to just how good Courtney Cox was in this movie. And this is but I gotta say, David Arquette really stepped up his game for this movie. He was just really, really good in here. And he gave this is all because he was expecting it was the last time he'd probably play Dewey, I'm sure. The meta humor is spot on, and the commentary on requels is absolutely perfect and very well written. I love the shots they take at the Star Wars sequel trilogy as well, because those movies suck ass. So that was really awesome too. And everything, but I love the commentary in this one. The directing is really well done too. Radio Silence did an excellent job directing it. They had big shoes to fill, stepping into Wes Craven's shoes, and they did a really, really great job. I was very, very happy and impressed with them and their work on this movie. And I've never really dug the relationship between Dewey and Gale, but in this movie, it kind of changed my perspective on it. And rewatching this franchise, knowing what's going to happen and stuff, I still don't really fully buy into their relationship after rewatching them all together and stuff. But I do feel like it was starting to get a little bit better in this one. They had finally gave up and stuff, but I also liked the exchange they had about why it didn't work between them, and how they both miss each other, but they just can't be together because they neither one of them is happy living away from their homes. She wants to be in New York, he wants to be in Woodsboro, and I like that though, and I like how he's still in love with her all these years later and stuff. It's just really, really great stuff with Dewey's character and everything. And the scene when he's dying and stuff, and he's looking down at his phone and he smiles because he gets to see her face one last time as he's dying is just absolutely beautiful and heartbreaking and everything. Because even though I don't really care for Gale, I always wanted Dewey to be happy and stuff. And it was just a sad little moment. And it's sad that he didn't get his happy ending that he deserved. As far as negatives go, I will say that the killer reveal was predictable and everything, although I already knew who the killers were going into this movie and everything. I had it spoiled for me before it came out, so I knew what to expect, but I do feel like that even if I hadn't known, I would have been able to figure it out pretty easily. The third act is pretty decent and stuff, but not quite on the same level of some of the others, although after rewatching it a few times and stuff, the third act I think isn't really that bad and everything. I don't think it's on the level of forgettable as like Scream 3's ending and stuff, and I do think it's a better ending than Scream 6's as well. Brian Tyler's score is okay, not as good as Marco Beltrami's work on the previous movies, but it's still pretty good. And although not terrible, it does feel like Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox weren't quite as good this time around. Like, their hearts weren't in playing these characters as much in this movie as they are in the previous ones, which Courtney Cox, I will say that she was still pretty good and everything. It's just a lot of it is I don't like Gail Weathers and everything. And the next movie kind of reiterates why I've never been a fan of her, of the character, I mean. But not Courtney Cox, she's great as a character. I would never down her, so. But all in all, I think Scream 5 is good. This was a really great requel, and it was a fun, entertaining movie in the Scream franchise. I love that it honors what came before while introducing some great new characters that are really lovable that you want to follow and see what happens with them next. And it's also a lot of fun with some unexpected emotions that made me remember why and how I fell in love with this franchise to begin with. So this is a really, really good entry in the franchise. So I'd say I'd give Scream 5 an 8 out of 10. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and thank you Big D for joining and everything. Once again, it was great to have you on here, and have a good day, everybody. I just want to say thank you for watching this video and everything. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends and get more people going, help the channel grow. I really appreciate it, and thank you all, and have a good day.